live. F it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Do it live. We'll do it live. And I'm gonna come out messing with the chatters already. Phobic, we can tease you all we want because you literally show up in every stream. So you know what? You'll be fine.
Star Wars only. I know what the F your problem is. You don't listen. You don't listen to this madman. It's along with Daddy too. You laughing me off with my predictions. We were on a stream before, and I was like, "What about Taika Waititi for director?" There's got to be a reason they gave him the season finale. I think I get some speculating pretty good sometimes.
You got lucky.
No, I have a good track record. I have a good, except for Kathy Kennedy fired. But we know why.
What's that phrase? Even the dog's ass. The sun shines not even on a dog's ass.
Well, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I was right about the trilogy. Never happening. And then Jon Favreau, I said he's the next best choice to take over.
I said that a long time ago. Don't act.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I'm the first one to come out and say that. I said it before the Mandalorian came out.
I got the receipts.
I think Favreau would be great.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he'd be perfect. He's got the. I get annoyed with the fans who are always like, "Oh, I want Dave Filoni." I'm like, "All right, don't talk. You don't know what you're talking about anymore." There's a difference between president, producer, and creator role, and that's what Dave Filoni should do. Be a creator. He's very talented in that realm. But if you're going to minimize the man's talent to just a financial perspective and approving on what's made to president, then just I don't know. I get annoyed with that shit, man. It should be Jon. Jon's amazing. He's a great producer. He's been a director, a writer, an actor, and obviously The Mandalorian, in my opinion, has saved Star Wars, at least from the creative bankruptcy that it's had over the past few years.
Yeah.
It's certainly a great show. Absolutely.
And I love the way that article talked about it, how they said The Mandalorian is like a training ground to see who's going to be the new directors and new faces. I
liked all the directors. I got to be honest. I mean, even Filoni's episode was a little, but I mean, it was his first shot. Fair is fair. But I thought I think if they gave Deborah Chow a trilogy, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, she got the Kenobi show.
I want Famuyiwa. I don't know if I said.
Yeah. No, you did, Rick Famuyiwa.
Yeah, he directed some of my favorite episodes.
What episodes did he do?
The one with Bill Burr and episode 2 with the Jawas. Yeah, his were very much the action adventure kind of fun, and he co-wrote the teleplay, which is kind of like the screenplay for television. He co-wrote that for episode 5 chapter 6 with Bill Burr, and to me that just shows that he has a little bit of writing talent, and he can also work with other writers, because Christopher Yost, he wrote that episode as well. So one thing I noticed with The Mandalorian, at least with this news about Taika Waititi, is kind of like you were saying earlier, is that it's kind of showing a ground of what Lucasfilm was looking for, because you have Dave Filoni, who not only is using this as an opportunity to learn about directing in the live action role and being a producer, then you also have Deborah Chow, who did so good with her episode. She got the Kenobi show. Taika Waititi's being basically questioned about a possibility of making his own movie in the Star Wars universe. And then who else is there? You got Jon Favreau coming in next season. Yeah. Bryce Dallas Howard, who's the daughter of Ron Howard. I mean, this really does seem like something they're using to look at and say, we have a lot of talent with the Mandalorian directors. Why not use that talent for other things other than just the Mandalorian?
Yeah. I mean, that's my like one of my very first upload videos. I said the future of Star Wars is Chow-Raloni. It's those three. I completely agree. I mean, I think if they're approaching Taika first, is because he is hot. Okay, let's put it this way.
Well, he's got big budget film experience as well. Right, that's valuable.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Chow has any feature film credits, does she?
No, she's mostly TV. She's if she has it, it's probably something small that I really don't know about. But it's mostly TV.
Not saying she doesn't have the chops. I think she legitimately does have the chops. But I think they just, especially with everything that's gone on with the Skywalker trilogy, you're like, well, let's start out with a name that we know first, and then we'll we're going to put you in slot for stuff after that. And she's
she's got the Obi-Wan series. That's pretty big, man. That's huge.
Oh yeah.
It's not a feature, but it's huge, man. There's a lot of trust there.
Do you think they'll wait to finalize this until after Jojo Rabbit wins some awards?
Nah, I don't think so.
Do you think they'll
enough?
It's all negotiations.
Yeah. To publicly say, like, confirmed.
He put up a tweet today saying something about rumors. I forgot what it was, a image, a GIF or meme or something about rumors. Fleetwood Mac rumors. He put the album cover on because it's but again, and I commented on that because it's like, well, yeah, you know what? Until it's official, he has to say it's rumors. So you know.
But that's just adding fuel to the fire, honestly. Right. The fact that he's acknowledging it, because I mean, with the Colin Trevorrow script that's come out there, he hasn't said anything. But when there was that one, the one of the co-writers who was brought in for episode 9 before they scrapped everything with Colin, his name was Jack Thorne, making StarWars.net. He made his little article about that, and Colin was like, "Yeah, that's not true. None of that's true at all. None of that's in the script." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And so if you're going to publicly deny it like that, that adds some finality to it. But him kind of just being quiet, doesn't say anything, but Taika coming out and actually saying, yeah, there's rumors about it. That's just like, whoa, okay, something's going on here.
Right. And I think, I mean, I don't, he's Taika Waititi. He'll do it. You know, he'll
He probably
the only thing will stop him is if there's like money issues or conflicts with other stuff he has. That's the only thing that'll stop him.
Does he have any other obligations with Marvel? He's got Thor. He's got Thor, right? Yeah.
And he has some of his own project.
IMDb, I don't know if it's accurate or not. See what else he's working on.
In that article, all they mentioned, at least in the article, was Thor: Love and Thunder, and he has some one of his own projects he's doing as well.
Yeah, Time Bandits is the TV series he's supposed to be working on, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't think if he's doing the 2022 Star Wars film, it could be a possibility, because if Thor: Love and Thunder comes out in 2021, it'd probably go in production. I don't know when the release date is exactly, but it'd probably wrap up filming in 2020. And so he could go into production for the 2022 Star Wars film in 2021. But that's, I don't know, man.
Here's what it says on his IMDb. It says free guy, post-production, but he might be, that's an actor credit. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot of actor credits.
And he's in Suicide Squad. Let me go to directing.
And IMDb can be unreliable because they'll put every little thing that's like on a whiteboard up, but it doesn't mean it's actually going into production. So
okay, here's the directing. Next goal wins post-production. Thor: Love and Thunder announced, and Time Bandits announced. So
so just those two.
They even have him as a writer for a 2024 Star Wars film. That's odd. Because we don't. I mean, like Lunga just said, it's not reliable all the time, and there's supposed to be a Star Wars film in 2024, but as far as we know, the only one that's still happening is the 2022 one, because David Benioff and D.B. Weiss dropped out because fuck them.
You know what? That's a blessing in disguise, I think.
I got to be fair with you. When I first heard it, it was obviously before the Game of Thrones finale, and I was like, even though I wasn't happy with the last season, I'm like, well, these guys do know how to do, especially if it's Knights of the Old Republic. I'm like, these guys do know how to do medieval stuff. Maybe we'll see, Then we got near the end of that and we saw the finale. I'm like, oh God, I'm so glad they got rid of him.
Oh yeah, not only that, there was the interviews they did afterwards. Yeah, they were talking about how we really didn't know how to work with the costume designers when it came to making this stuff and the production. I was like, bro, I'm in film school and I'm learning that shit. Like, where the fuck have you guys been? Like, it's stuff like that where I think Lucasfilm saw those interviews and started working with them and realized, oh, you guys really have no idea what you're doing. Yeah,
especially when they said, for me as a fantasy lover, what really pissed me off is when they said, we decided not to put too much fantasy elements in it because we didn't want we wanted to appeal to a mass audience. I'm like, dude, it's a fantasy. That's like saying, let's make a Star Wars movie, but there's no spaceships. We're staying on one planet. We're not going anywhere. I know it's called Star Wars, but we're not going into stars. We're just staying here.
Well, the Time Bandits just says the pilot, so it's possible he has like his own production company. He's just going to set the tone and then move on to something else too. So the only thing really that he's going to go hardcore on is Thor: Love and Thunder before I think it's very possible for him to do Star Wars.
Yeah, the Thor: Love and Thunder movie comes out. I looked at the date, November 5th, 2021, and so if all goes well with that, he possibly could have time to make a Star Wars film in between then, and I don't see it.
Yeah, unless they have problems with reshoots, you should think he would rewrapping that up.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, and I know Marvel's been having a little bit of a problem with some of that stuff recently. I don't keep up with their projects a lot, but I've seen announcements about X, Y, and Z being postponed or some shit like that. Yeah. So yeah, if they have reshoots or something like that, it could affect it. But you would think that Disney, being the owners of Marvel and Lucasfilm, they would be able to work out a pretty solid game plan.
And maybe Feige's behind both, right? Producing.
That's what I was thinking too. It's possible.
Or is that unknown at this time?
It's unknown because when they were talking about his film, he's going to co-produce with Kathleen Kennedy, of course, but it was a film that they're not doing yet. I know it's not the 2022 film, as far as we know. So it's kind of one of those things where that's what's weird about Lucasfilm, is because you have the Rian Johnson trilogy, who they still say is happening and that they're planning on, and then you have this film in 2022, who we're supposed to get a director announcement this month, and time's ticking, and that one's still going, and so you have 4 films right there. And then some people are speculating that Kevin Feige is going to get his own film, which isn't what a producer does, but hey, I'll play along. So you have his involvement mixed up there somewhere. And I think Kevin Feige and Rian Johnson working together on a trilogy would be a lot better than Kevin Feige just doing a one-off film with like Taika Waititi. And so, because Kevin Feige is good at planning things out, at least. And even if he's only doing one film, if he sets the groundwork with the first Rian Johnson trilogy film, that could really help out the future of the franchise.
Is that still happening, or
it's still up in the air?
Yeah,
I don't think it's happening.
Star Wars only disagree on this one.
I don't think it's happening.
I go off of the fact that Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy said in April she's going to sit down and talk with Rian Johnson, David Benioff, and Davey Weiss.
That's why
in April. Yeah,
that's why I think it's not.
2 out of the 3 are done. Yeah. We're not batting too good there.
Here's my point to that Star Wars only. Iger and Kathy were on totally different pages there. He's like, we're going into a slowdown. We're gonna, because they still have to go to them, Horn and Iger, and get the green light for these projects, even if they get everything set up. And she's like, we're having meetings with DB Weiss, David Benioff, and Ryan, and nothing ever comes from them.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, a lot of this stuff's under wraps, and my point would be is that, like, when they were talking about a slowdown, there was supposed to be a Kenobi film coming out a lot sooner than what we're getting.
We don't have anonymous sources that can give us that information.
Doomcock has an answer our calls.
I'm a source. I'm a source. I'm the source of the Taika Waititi rumor.
As someone with sources, even my sources don't go that high up. They're mostly they tell me, hey, there's production starting soon.
All sources are equal, according to Lord and Savior Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Man, fire's always got to go there.
No, oh,
I feel like I should make Jeremy into like Voldemort for the Star Wars fandom. He
who must be named.
I made a video calling him Jerdamort.
That's awesome.
Because I'm just kidding. I won't mention him again, but I'm just saying.
I'm friends with Jeremy, so
I'll be afraid to mention Jerdamort's name.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, you know, all this anonymous source bullshit. Like, I publicly asked to vet these people. I guarantee anonymity. I'll sign a non-disclosure. I don't have a problem. I'll fly somewhere. I don't give a shit to meet with them.
See, that's where when I started my channel, I do rumors and speculation, but I go past that. I know a guy. I'm like, I'm the source. I think this is gonna happen. That's just a rumor, but that's what I do. That's how I roll.
I'm my own. Be open and honest about it. That's what's weird about the whole Doomcock source thing that gets on my nerves a little bit, is that it seems people don't understand the business side of things. Of like, when there's information about a Star Wars film inside production, it's pretty easy for someone like Lucasfilm to figure out what part of the team leaked it, because there's certain things that certain people know about. I know someone who was on set and was telling me that security was really tight for this past film. And it's one of those things where Doomcock's coming out saying there's test screenings. Doomcock's coming out saying that 25% of the cut of the original trilogy stuff goes to Lucasfilm. That's why goes to George Lucas.
Wait, people actually took that shit seriously? They have to be.
They did. That's pretty stupid, because I even talked to an intellectual property lawyer who was like, "Yeah, that's."
They would have never agreed to
Not only that, my point was
25%. You can't. Yeah. That's your profit margin.
I'm like, bro. First of all, you bought it for $4.05 billion, and you're not going to own it entirely. But there's so many different sources, stuff that was coming out from this one guy. I'm like, all right, dude, you're either getting trolled really hard, you're trolling really hard, or you have a source in every single department of Lucasfilm, into the executives, into the assistants of the executives, into the production, and even into the lawyers.
Because all these people are clamoring to talk to some guy
named Doomcock.
Named Doomcock.
Yeah, I'm willing to risk my career for digital backpats.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to break the NDA agreement that we have. I'm going to go into the
I'm going to kill my career so that the Doomcocky can get paid there. But when they say what I like, it's definitely all right. Yeah, fuck all that shit, dude. But when they say what I like, it's definitely all right. So who gives a fuck? Yeah, why vet when we like what we get? Why vet?
It's always funny. This stuff comes out and it has a very clear narrative of Disney bad, Disney Star Wars bad. There's nothing that comes out positively of oh, hey, by the way, my source is saying that this guy is going to get his own trilogy, or this guy's going to.
Or hey, what about some Mandalorian leaks?
Yeah, no. There's no
Mandalorian leaks.
Oh, well,
those people don't want digital backpats too.
We'll start getting the Taika hate. That's going to start coming. Just wait.
Whatever.
Just watch. We'll start getting the Taika hate. Oh, he's going to turn Star Wars into a comedy.
I saw some already today.
Oh, Jesus! Boy. Here we go. You see,
this is where the fun begins.
I saw it was on an earlier stream.
Hey, I got a question. Can Echo Base Network link his GoFundMe for his dog?
Sure. He has a wrench. He can do it.
Yeah.
He's a mod. You're a mod, right, Echo?
I think he's just asking for. He just wants, even though he's a mod, he doesn't.
Yeah, dude. Anything like that, I'm cool with. Yeah.
Oh wait, he raised. I'm sorry, I misread that. It's late. He raised all the money.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Good.
Oh, congratulations.
Good. Congratulations. Oh, that's all. Okay. I thought he needed to post it. My apologies. I misread. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm a sucker. I got my dog too, man. He's my buddy.
Well, I got 3. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
love him to death.
Keep Chubby Teddy in your thoughts. Is Doug's having a rough time, so he would have been on with me tonight. That's why I switched topics. I was going to talk about DC and superhero movies because he's really in the DC. But his nothing life threatening, but his dog. That's why he missed the stream tonight. Oh yeah, Dr. Fate. Daddy is going hard on the DC front, talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths. This week.
Yeah, I was talking about that. It was awesome.
Did you guys see the Morbius trailer?
I didn't watch it yet. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't. I never really liked him as a comic character that much. But I mean, who is it? Jared Leto?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a tremendous actor. I'll give him that. Yeah, I might go see it. I don't know. We'll see.
He messed up with the Joker, but I still say that was just a bad role for him. He's still a good actor. It's not. Wasn't him. I mean, part of it was because I think he did.
I think he had the most. I think he had the most exciting parts of that movie.
There was so much left on the cutting room floor with his character too. So we won't know. But I do believe the whole tattoos and the laugh, especially the way he did it, and the gangster style was his idea of portraying. But can't win them all.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, he's still a tremendous actor, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Is there any other Star Wars rumors that I've missed? Because I missed some things.
Let's see. We got the Colin Trevorrow leaked script. We got the Taika Waititi rumors. We got I don't know. Even I'm kind of out of the loop now. There's not much going on.
Lull, man.
Well, they've been talking about what we're looking at. They're looking at possibly this next movie is supposed to be High Republic.
Oh yeah.
Era, and that's based off of what's going on with Project Luminous, because those are that stuff is most likely going to be gearing up to what they're going to be doing in this High Republic area, which is 400 years before Phantom Menace. But they also announced that, or not announced, there was also rumors saying that they are also developing most like maybe a series involving Knights of the Old Republic era. Old Republic stuff. So that might be coming too. I talked about that with Josh a little bit. To where
that's a lot of Star Wars shows.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Remember, a lot of that stuff when they come out with these rumors, if it's real, a lot of that stuff is whiteboard stuff. It doesn't mean they're developing a movie in 2 years for that. If they're saying we're doing, this movie here, this series, because I think they're going towards series more than sagas. Let's say it's this one.
Disney Plus is where the money's going to be. The stream wars have begun.
Right. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So the movie in 2022, again, my theory is that's most likely going to be this High Republic era, coming off the back of Project Luminous. And then if they're doing that Old Republic thing, most likely that's going to be a Disney Plus series, and let that go for a while, and it'll be like a Disney wants its Game of Thrones, and if they can do that with the Old Republic, if they do it good on Disney Plus, and then that eventually could become a movie down the line, if they do it right. That's what I think.
Yeah, I see them going in for kind of setting up a series of films and stories that ties into each other. Like they were saying, the Project Luminous starts off with a video game set in the High Republic era that comes out in 2021. And so the 2022 Star Wars film, if it's set in the High Republic era, it's kind of like its own standalone spin-off film that ties in a little bit. And then let's say, for the sake of argument, the Rian Johnson trilogy happens, or they get another trilogy going, and they're like, all right, well, we want a story set in this era that kind of follows the same storyline in a way like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but a lot more, I would say, open-ended, where you have stories that kind of loosely tie into each other. At least that's how I would probably want it to be done, instead of just having 2021 game about a character, and then they be in the 2022 film, and then they have their own trilogy. I can definitely see Disney, and actually primarily Lucasfilm in this case, kind of slowly setting up a story in a certain era, kind of slowly getting fans used to it, so we can kind of be excited for the stories in that era.
Right, and then, it's an interesting era too, because remember, there's no Sith; they're in hiding. There's no Sith in that time.
Yeah.
There's Jedi everywhere. Obviously, but there's no Sith. But I think they can pursue some mystery and intrigue, finding holocrons or things like that, and that can lead up to like this threat that they think is there, but they haven't found any real evidence yet for, or whatever. And
I would be a lot more interested in this. Is a problem I've had with Star Wars, even the expanded universe, for a long time, is that almost every Star Wars story is the fate of the galaxy is at hand.
Yeah, right.
This big weapon taking out these planets and everything. And so why don't we just have a simple story? This is why I didn't like the prequels a lot, and I didn't like the sequels. Of why don't we just have a simple story of the Jedi being the good guys for once? Why don't we just go do something good? Save a planet, do some negotiation shit, not like the Phantom Menace negotiations.
Aggressive negotiations.
Yeah.
Aggressive negotiations. Have him be a little David Carradine in Kung Fu,
just something small, minimal, and relaxing, and make the Jedi feel like the good guys that they are. Because the original trilogy set the Jedi up to be these mythical creatures or Jedi Knights and great people, and then the prequels made them stupid. Prequels, they were just the dumbest fucking people in the entire films, and then the sequels basically spent the entire time saying the Jedi are bad, they're awful people. Did you see the prequels? That's how bad they are. It's like, oh my god, I like the Jedi though. Can we get some Jedi in here? Well, what happened to the good ones? So it's I don't know. It's Star Wars. That's what it is.
One offshoot when we talk about prequels. What I'd really love to see? I'd love to see either a series or a short movie about Grievous.
Oh yeah.
He has an interesting background.
Yeah.
I like when Mace Windu fucked his day up in the non-canon Cartoon Network. He's like, "Yo, what up?" He's like staring at him. Yeah, what's up? I just ripped your ribs out, dude. Like, he's like, "What's up now, dude? I'm Mace Windu, bitch. Let's go."
I had a hard time with that animation. I just couldn't get into it.
Man. I loved it, man. I wish that stuff isn't canon, right?
No, no. They made it at first to tie in with the Revenge of the Sith movie because it came out in 2003, and then Lucas was like, "Well, I want to make the Clone Wars, and I already made the Clone Wars, so I might as well make the other one not canon." And I just kind of whatever.
Because that micro series was dope.
I fucking loved it, dude.
Oh my god, man!
On replay all the time.
I just love when Mace Windu stays like. You know,
plus it was a great setup for Grievous because Grievous was like intimidating and badass. He took out that shaggy looking dude, and
he took out all of them guys. I think Shang-Chi was there. Shang-Chi's my girl.
Yeah, and even Mundi was like, he got more character in that because he was like, Ela, Shakti. I'm like, oh boy, he's got an accent. I didn't know that. And then the movies happen, and he's like the only other Jedi Council member who even talks, because it's only Mace, Yoda, Obi-Wan in the third film, and then Ki-Adi-Mundi in the first one or two. He's like, your thoughts dwell on your mother. It's like, oh, that's great characterization.
Am I in the minority that I really hated Mundi? I just did not like his character at all.
What's the like?
You happy when he got shot up? Come on, guys! And then he holds his saber like an asshole. He deserved to die.
Maybe it's because his head's shaped like a dick.
I think he was overacting now. I was like, murk this motherfucker. Get him out.
that was Doomcock's first appearance.
I want to see more Kit Fisto. Some more Kit. Give me some more.
I love Kit Fisto. I like when he uses the Force in episode 2, and he's got that big shit-eating grin after he takes down 3PO.
Yeah. They use him a lot in Clone Wars too. I mean, he's. I like Kit Fisto.
Anyone want to see a Qui-Gon Jinn?
I'd love Qui-Gon Jinn.
You gonna bring back Liam Neeson?
Yeah, Liam Neeson's too old now, man.
Somebody's gonna take his kid. It's gonna be Taken Qui-Gon Jinn edition, and he's just gonna go into the saber and just fuck everyone's day up.
Have him talking to the little communicator. I know which galaxy you're in. I know which system you're in.
I have a very special set of skills.
Yeah,
motherfucker, and I will use them. I have the Force, motherfucker. I will get you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I still got to read the book of Master and Apprentice.
Dude, I got it over there on the shelf, and I've been meaning to read it. I got into chapter 1, and I just didn't care. No, like, okay, I'll go read a Madison book, and I need to get back into it.
Hey, Star Wars only. Do you want to be part of our? You want to be a binge buddy?
We're not calling it binge buddies, dude. It's not happening. It is not fucking happening.
Is it? Do we binge a show or do we binge eat? What the fuck is?
All the above. That's a good. Do both of those things at the same time.
The premise behind it is it's going to be a
drink. That's not a bad idea.
It's going to be a group of us content creators, and
buddies.
we're gonna
buddies.
No, squad, and we're gonna
squad buddies.
All I keep every time I hear binge buddies, I think bosom buddies. And I know, but we're gonna like.
What's wrong with bosom buddies?
We're gonna pick. Shut up, Max. We're gonna pick.
I lost some viewers there.
We're gonna pick a show on some, on a streaming service like Netflix or Amazon Prime, whatever, and we're gonna watch them and just go over them episode by episode. And we're gonna rotate it among other people, everyone's channels every week.
I'm fucking down. That sounds like a chill time.
Yeah, dope.
If I can't smoke weed during it, it won't be that fun for me. But
smoke the weed all you want, dude.
When you launch your other channel, Star Wars only,
wait, how do you have another channel? Your Star Wars only?
No. I said
that's why he needs another channel.
Then you can host one of the episodes of Binge Buddies on your.
Not calling it Binge Buddies.
I know. Wandering Jedi says it's going to be called Binge Buddies. I'm having a tough time disagreeing with him.
Well,
I will create a channel called Binge Buddies.
Then I will not participate.
We need a theme song. We need like a pop punk theme song. Oh man! You're like Binge Buddies are your friends.
Will you guys?
Will you guys going downhill quick?
We're bombing here.
Will you guys subscribe to my new channel if I call it Binge Buddies with Darth Daddy? I'm gonna launch it tomorrow. He's getting mad.
I'm gonna have to get some representation because if that happens.
You gonna
are you gonna sue us like Jeff?
I'm gonna have to. Dude, he set the precedent.
I'm gonna sue you.
You know, he set the precedent.
With what money, motherfucker? You broke ass. What are you doing? You know, I'm kidding, but
you know, because first time, authors and creators don't know what they're doing, so they make stupid fucking mistakes.
You took the money as if you weren't going to make any mistakes.
I will admit I'm not familiar with the author realm, but I did find it funny when I think Max, you've talked to him, the author for the Fandom Menace historian book or something was like, I need a donation in order to write this book. I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I need to give you money to write a book? Either write it and I'll buy it or don't. Like, don't. Why do you need money to?
Because you gotta go with the grift, baby. You're not understanding.
Mine was
volume one is fake news. That's why I had to take over. I'm the real historian right here.
And
I see it.
Like, I am going to run another Kickstarter for the second book, but that's going to be after I fucking finish writing it. It's not going to be, you know what I mean?
I'm buying yours because I know you, and I'm of course a big fantasy fan, and I want to support you because you're a friend. But it's also one of those things where it's like I know what I'm getting into. When
I'm writing a book, yo. I pay my rent.
Yeah,
pay my rent, bitch.
Pay my rent.
All right, I gotta address Echo Base because he's a defender of Jeff. In all fairness, he said he never's going to sue anyone. He just said his
lawyer just said he could, so I'm going to mention. I'm going to mention it in public. But that's like a veiled threat.
I would love for him to sue me because then I will be the proud owner of world-class firewaters. And because that's probably the only asset he has. Yeah. I got to be honest.
I'm not saying I go by daddy, but my lawyer said I could. So.
Okay. Yeah, just saying. Yeah. I'll get my real lawyer that I have a fucking retainer for. Okay.
but for real Star Wars only, I think we would love to see you branch out to. I know you're going to be busy. Maybe you have to wait till your project.
Yeah. Darth Daddy Lunga is the only one who knows my job.
He spilled the beans. I wasn't going to tell anyone I knew.
Now I'm jealous.
Nothing to be jealous about. But I'll be busy for at least until July, and then after that I got college, of course. But I've had.
Are you really 19 or whatever?
20 right now.
Motherfucker, you don't sound that.
Bro,
didn't I say that?
I don't even look it either. I promise.
You deceiver. No, I'm just kidding.
I get that a lot. I remember one time some guy put in a comment section, he was like, "You're 20? Bullshit!" Like not as like
You're 20. I'll fucking fight you.
Yeah. What? He was mad about me. He was like, "You're lying about your age." I'm like, "What am I gonna lie about? I don't fucking care. Like, I look old as shit. If you guys see me, you're gonna be like, oh, this guy."
You look so you're like half Jeremy's age, and you told him to grow up. In that video, that's fucking funny, dude.
I mean,
that's funny.
This is how funny it is. My daughter said, "You got to have that Star Wars dude on again because he's the only one I liked at your guest."
Hey, what the hell? Your family doesn't like me, Daddy.
What? Your family don't like me neither? I thought I was good.
Well, you weren't really a guest. You were just kind of like,
okay.
Just heck.
Wait a minute. Have you actually been on mine? No, I think we've always talked on Max. I don't think you've been on my show.
Maybe that's fair then. That's fair.
Yeah.
You just skated past that. What about the Madman? What's your feeling about the Madman?
Well, Kitten's okay.
I think the Madman lives.
Kitten's okay with me.
Rip.
No, she likes you.
Press F in the chat. If I could get some F's in the chat to pay respect, please. Press F.
My oldest son likes you. Matter of fact, my stream on Sunday is his birthday, so I'm thinking about having him maybe come on with me.
That'd be dope.
Cool.
He turns 26.
Thank you, Star Wars only. At least you're listening.
Oh yeah,
someone's got to be
listening. Support any way I can.
Actually, speaking of support, I'm trying to write this book. If you could just cut me a check, that would be dope.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm making another Star Wars documentary, but in order to properly put in the time and effort, I need you to donate to my Kickstarter for a YouTube documentary that I make for free.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to get the 7-Eleven, and my account's a little light. I was hoping to grab a Twix bar.
I told you should be
and for another $10, I can get a Slurpee too.
Yeah, I can get a Slurpee and a hot dog.
And if you super chat me, I'll eat and drink on stream.
You can watch me enjoy the food.
Yes, you get it. You get it. You're perfect for YouTube.
I'll mail you the hot dog wrapper with the label on the back. I'm sorry. I mean, not that we got it. I don't want to be this one that we just keep talking about him all night, but it's comical. It's just it's too good.
No, but I'd love to have a chat. Yeah, if people are handing out money in the Fandom Menace, maybe I shouldn't be so critical of them. Maybe I should just fucking collect. Yeah, I'm writing a book too. What's your book about? Go fuck yourself. Pay me.
Go fuck yourself. Pay me. Now you sound like Goodfellas. Fuck you. Pay me.
At least
business was slow. Fuck you. Pay me.
At least Cecil was starting Indiegogo saying called cash grab. At least he was honest.
I mean,
I feel like his liver is going to need a cash injection.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's got some problems.
That might be the next GoFundMe. 1 cent. Thank you, Jack JW Productions.
Damn.
To binge buddies.
Yeah, fuck the binge buddies.
Some super chats, Max, so we can start donating to you. Get you.
Start putting up the super chats. We got to start paying for like streaming services if we're doing this.
I like your blinds there, Max. I have the same ones.
They need replaced. They're all messed up.
Mine are fucked up too. I swear to God, that's so funny. That's not even bullshit. My wife is like, "We need to replace these." Yeah. I'm like, all right, let me go to the Fandom Menace. I'll tell them I'm writing a book. And you can cut my ass a check.
I told them before. I love the exercise bike that obviously is not ever used.
Hey, you don't know what I did.
I almost spit my water out into my $2,000 PC. Fuck you, Lunga. Fuck you.
It's the truth. I don't use it. It just sits back. It's way back there.
It should be smoking weed, man.
I should be doing that instead of streaming.
Hey, is that a bottle of Jif on your counter?
Oh no, I see it.
It's like a welfare size tub of Jif.
No, he did. He's gonna throw it out or some shit.
All right, guys, welcome to the Star Wars only live stream. We're here with Lunga and Firewater.
welcome to the madness.
I eat peanut butter and don't exercise. Okay?
You know what it is? You need to write a book and then you can go buy some steaks.
Please start a GoFundMe so we can upgrade to Skippy.
GoFundMe so I can stop streaming in my dining room.
More like GoFundMe. We're bros in the Phantom Menace. Just some of us get paid and some of us pay. That's all.
It's okay, Max. It's okay. You're still my buddy, and I will circle the wagons even though the bottle.
He admitted it. You're my binge buddy.
Oh, I'm your Jif buddy.
Oh God.
It's generic peanut butter. It's not even Jif.
Jesus, I gave you more credit than you need. That fucking sucks.
Is that Peter Pan peanut butter?
Oh, he really needs to go fund me to get some brand name peanut butter.
Just tell them that you're writing a book, and that I'm sorry. I'm gonna beat that to death. I have to.
I need to stop streaming in my dining room, but my dogs get to hang out that way. There's not enough room in my other room.
It's okay, Max. Here's the plan. Like I said, I'm gonna make a studio for my channel, and I'm gonna fly you and Lunga out to wherever the studio is at. Y'all are gonna live wherever y'all can. Oh man, yeah, you can come in too. You just gotta be Star Wars only based, I guess. I
just have to write a book to get the money for the plane ticket.
Firewater, you can't go anywhere because you can't do anything on the weekends because you got to spend time with your wife. So stop.
Yeah, I'll fly her ass out too, man. Package deal.
Yeah, bring the whole families. We'll have our nice little studio. Everyone will get their own show on the channel once a week, and then we'll have a podcast every month where we all get together and smoke weed and drink and talk Star Wars and various other topics. And
I'll bring the peanut butter.
Yeah. And then once a year, we're gonna have a donation box for the fans on Patreon where they donate and then get early access to the books that we're writing.
There we go.
And it's going to be great.
We should start a GoFundMe just to buy back the Stealing Solo books. Just buy them back. Listen, he's not going to.
We'll give you a refund because Jeff Hicks won't.
Damn. Throwing slugs. I like Jeff. I've met him. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy until he takes that 53 fucking grand.
Here's the thing. When people criticism, even if it's heavy criticism, I'm not saying he kills puppies. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I'm sure he's.
Well, nice. I mean, maybe for a GoFundMe he would. I don't know.
I'm sure his friends and family love him. I'm sure he's perfectly nice to, you know, little ladies on the street. Yeah, it's true. But, you know, as far as being a businessman, he's a dick. That's just what it is. You know what I mean?
I can agree with that. So Star Wars.
Star Wars. Star Wars. What the hell is that?
For binge buddies pool. Clone Wars is
not fucking binge buddies.
All right, well, I'll tell you the other names.
Maybe it's binge boys. I don't know.
No, that's you can't do that. Come on.
No, I said
come
my
on,
idea was Saturday Stream Squad. That was my idea.
All right. Well, here's the choices: Stream Junkies, Binge Buddies, Stream Squad, Stream Squadron. And then Daddy said Saturday Night Stream Junkies, which I think sounds pretty good. Or Saturday Night Stream Squad.
Yeah.
But then we're bound to Saturday night.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to do a show, here's the thing: when you this is the YouTube game, buddy. If you're going to do a show, it's you gotta.
No, the YouTube game is that you start a GoFundMe. I can't even get it. I can't even finish the joke. I just love it so much in my head. I can't share it.
But yeah, no. I mean, if you're gonna have a show like that, you can't just do it. You know, it's got to be a scheduled day that people.
Yeah. Well, streaming content. I told Daddy, and I told Matt Jarbo too, we got to start covering more streaming content because Disney owns the box office. There's certainly Star Wars and Marvel, but beyond that, there's very few bright spots. And the streaming wars are already happening.
Did you know that Disney Plus already has 70% of the value of Netflix?
Yep.
I think they put it really up to 10 billion, if I remember correctly.
Honestly, I think the only thing keeping Netflix alive is that they got The Witcher. That's the only thing right now that's keeping it alive.
Not only that, man. One of the big problems that I've kind of thought about with Netflix is that there's a thing in the stock market that was a big deal a few years ago called FANG, which is like the big five, I guess, companies, which would be Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. And what happens now is that like Netflix has always been operating at a loss in revenue, where their idea was, well, we're just going to make it back eventually. I mean, yeah, we got to put a lot of money in for these licensings and making our own shows, but we have so many subscribers. But it's kind of like I don't know if you guys remember, there was a company called MoviePass that
MoviePass never turned a profit.
And,
they paid full retail for the tickets.
Yeah,
they didn't even get the Costco discount. You know what? We need to set up a GoFundMe. I'm sorry, I'm done. I bled that one out. I milked it more than Fandom Menace. I'm sorry. Oh, come back, viewers. Come back. I milked that more than the Fandom Menace milked the Last Jedi. I apologize. See, we got some laughs now. We're good. Okay, I'm done with that.
More than Luke with green titty milk.
Oh, yes, sir. My favorite scene of the film.
Oh, we got one back. All right, good. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you look at something like Netflix, who operated at a loss for so long, and now you see something like Apple TV coming in and Disney Plus coming in, and that really was kind of not a big backbone for Netflix, but a big part of it for a while. And now that they're competing, the question of the day is going to be Netflix killed Blockbuster, which was Blockbuster's fault. RIP. I missed that.
I missed Blockbuster. Yeah. I do. No, fuck that. It was a doomed retail model. Absolutely not.
Man, well, Disney fucked them big time with the Marvel shows. That's what really. They just no lube, man.
Netflix may die out in the next 5 to 10 years, kind of like GameStop will, where it's going to be a forgotten thing, but it really started something new where Netflix dies out, and then you have other streaming services everywhere. Like HBO Max is coming out. That's going to be another dent to Netflix. I mean, they really have to rely on something like Stranger Things, which is cool and all, but Netflix has always operated under the idea of you can binge everything in one night in 1 week, and then everyone unsubscribes.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. They're shorting themselves revenue. Also, Netflix is the only streaming service that is only Netflix. Everyone else has a major backer. Amazon Prime has Amazon. Apple TV Plus has fucking Apple, which has 120 billion in capital.
Well, that's what it came
and what's the other one? Disney Plus has Disney, which is largest studio in the world. So
they're probably operating at a big loss just to undercut the Netflix cost.
Well, what started the loss for them was when they started producing their own shows, which it was a catch-22 because that's what's keeping people there, but it's also what's making them hemorrhage money. But they can't just stop producing those shows.
And they can't. What are they going to do? Put commercials on?
Yeah.
What I mean, there's 3 ways in business to get more money. You either raise the price, reduce your cost, or do both.
And they've raised the cost.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna charge people $30 a month for Netflix at some point?
Yeah, the value to go off yourself, down and the price has been going up, and that's kind of where Disney has really undermined them in a way where it's like, hey, we're gonna offer you. One thing I will admit about the strategy of Disney that I thought was brilliant, even though a lot of people, I don't want to say in the fandom aside, but a lot of critics of Disney would say was a mistake, was when Disney was coming out, people were like, well, there's so many streaming services out there. What can they really offer? And this is where Bob Iger is, I don't think he's been the best CEO in the world for Disney. He's been one of the best, but his strategy was, yes, there's a lot of competition out there, but what we need to do is make original content and quality original content.
Yeah.
And we're going to offer the price at $7.99. And then we're going to do bundles with Hulu and ESPN Plus, which I have both. I'm an MMA fan for ESPN Plus, and then I like watching like South Park, Rick and Morty, and Family Guy and American Dad on Hulu. And so you put in that bundle and you have all these original shows like The Mandalorian, like the Jeff Goldblum shows, and so many other things on Disney. It's kind of like, well, there's a lot of original content on there that you pay for a monthly service because the new episode comes out every week. For a Star Wars fan, at least, I mean, it's going to keep you entertained for a few years. You got The Mandalorian, next month's Clone Wars. After that ends, The Mandalorian season 2. After that ends, Cassian Andor show. After that ends, you got the
and that's just show. If you're a Star Wars fan. I mean, for families, Disney Plus is a shoo-in. I mean, it has everything that a family with kids wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great service. It's got a lot of one thing that I've also noticed is that they listen to criticism pretty well, because when it started out, it was really hard to watch, like continue to watch something, like resume play on a movie or something.
Yes, I agree.
Fix that out, and it's something like that where you're like, wow, thanks for listening. And to reply to the Senate who's saying, is Apple Plus TV worth it? I would say no, compared to what else is out there, man.
Well, the morning show is actually pretty good. My wife just got a new iPhone, so we get it free for a year.
Fuck Apple.
I love their phone, dude. No, fuck you.
Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy all the way. This is what I go by. I've always had it forever.
I'm a simple man. I like my iPhone 11. I'm just.
I don't do anything Apple. I have an iPad upstairs, and it's literally just because I got it for free, and I never use it.
I love Apple portable electronics. I hate their computers with a passion. But I love the iPhone. It's so fucking seamless, dude. It's so easy. It's level.
So is the Galaxy.
Yeah, I know Apple's not as great as a lot of the Apple fans that make it out to be. I just like it because A, I'm used to it, and B, I like
here's a new phone. Pay another $1,000 because there's a different number at the end.
Fuck you and your broke ass.
Hey, this phone was this is $1,000 phone too, dude.
Yeah, the battery life's probably better than mine.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I think you're right. The future is streaming. If I wasn't locked into a contract with my Verizon Fios until June of next year, my wife and I are having serious considerations. Just we'll get YouTube Live, and then make sure she can get all her channel. Actually, DirecTV now, I think it is probably the best value, as long as she gets she wants her HG network and all the other shit so she can watch her Kardashians. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, no, it's what are you gonna do?
Now we know why you're streaming so much.
Yeah, I know, right? She puts in a shitload of hours at work. We all have our guilty.
That's my wife. My girlfriend works 12 hours a day, and we do it. It's the opposite. Instead of Kardashians, we literally have Hulu, just because she wants to watch anime. So I'm paying money for Hulu just so she can watch anime, because that's all she wants to watch. So I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah. So I mean, but I think what it is that these stream wars are. I'm half considering it. I almost did it this time, but it wasn't. It actually would have cost me slightly more, but I'm assuming as the streaming services, there's more of them around, competition will drive down price. I think
that's what happened.
Yeah.
Price for what? Cable or the other streaming services?
I think both.
I don't think price is going to go down. They're just going to keep trying bundling shit. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing with Disney is that they own, Hulu for a while was the competition against Netflix, and then they started putting ads up there, and it was like, well, you pay if you're doing it for free, here's ads, but if you want to pay, there's no ads, and now it's either way. You're going to either pay for ads or you're going to pay more for no ads. And one thing Disney's done, even though they don't own Hulu, they own 2/3 of their stock. I mean, they basically have.
They're the controlling partner. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where that's where I get. I'm more fiscal conservative libertarian kind of guy, and when I look at a company like Disney, who's even considered of buying Apple, Bob Iger said in his recent book that I read that if Steve Jobs was alive, he probably would have sold Apple to Disney. And now looking at that in hindsight and looking how big both of these companies have become, man, that's fucking terrifying, dude. I mean, they just bought Fox. I
want to know what happened to anti-monopoly laws. They're like just like looking.
Where's the monopoly? Where's the monopoly?
There is well, I would
antitrust laws is what you're trying. Where's the monopoly?
I wouldn't say a monopoly of like everything in the streaming service, but I'm just talking about an art and culture as itself is where I kind of am going. How big do you really need to become?
Here, I'll give you an example. Okay, I know you're saying where's the monopoly. Okay, I mean if you want to do strictly saying no, there's still competitiveness. Okay, but if you really want to say that Apple, Disney, and Amazon, and you could throw maybe one or two other ones in there, but Apple, Disney, Amazon, and let's say AT&T, Comcast. Okay, Warner Brothers. You take those 4 or 5 companies. Tell me how they're any different than Carnegie, Rockefeller, Vanderbilt, and those in the industrial age,
because they're not in cahoots, and also competition drives prices down, and there is adequate market competition. There's adequate market competition. Apple TV Plus is $5 a month, dude.
Apple, but the Apple TV that's like his generic peanut butter. Really, that's going to do much.
I don't know. They got star power behind their shows, man.
It's $5 a month because nobody wants to see it.
It's still not doing too well though. Apple TV hasn't been doing.
Maybe
amazing.
It hasn't, and then again, okay, Apple's not non-competitive. Netflix was dominating for a while, and now they're kind of shifting there too. Disney, why would they license out their stuff? They can make a shit ton more money. Managing.
You're right. That's what drives competition and makes this better. Because if it wasn't for Netflix, we wouldn't be getting things.
Correct. Like Netflix pioneered the way.
Well, I'm talking about Disney. Like if Disney bought Apple, dude, come on. I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
but there's other phone companies
for them to buy Amazon, and they own the world.
No, I don't know about that. No, and you know what it is? Do you guys even know about Alibaba?
Yes, it's
Amazon is about 10%. 15 maybe of Alibaba, and when they open up over here, they're going to be shitting in their pants. I promise you.
Well, here, okay, hold on. First of all, Alibaba, you got to understand that they're servicing 2 billion people in China and India alone. Okay,
correct.
So I mean that when we talk about monopoly laws, we're talking about within the United States.
No. What I'm saying is that you're mentioning all these companies as if they're the big fish.
But Alibaba has shit. The stuff they sell is garbage.
And when I say big fish, I'm thinking like not just a monopoly of a streaming service. For me, Disney, they're basically turning into the movie industry, where all the big films that have been doing well have mostly been Disney films, and that's okay in the sense of they have different studios underneath them. But when they're literally becoming the studio, and what I feel like becoming Hollywood, it kind of gets to a point of. And this might sound a little, I guess, corny or artsy, but for me, it's like, all right, where's the art and our culture going if it's all being controlled and created by one entity? Yeah. Where if you're not making a big superhero blockbuster film, you're not making it at all. I mean, you look at the film like Irishman. I thought that was a really good film. That released in theaters for a little bit, but it had to go to Netflix, and Netflix was very anal about, hey, we don't really want this in theaters. We want this on our streaming platform as soon as possible. Where now indie films, I mean, you look at the 90s, indie films kind of had a boom in the 90s of we're doing our own independent thinking. We're getting away from the Hollywood system. George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola, big pioneers in this industry with the American Zoe trope. That was basically thinking of, hey, why don't we step away from the Hollywood system that has really kind of ruined movies in a sense. Now movies, I would argue, at least going into this new decade, are kind of dying because of something like Marvel, because of something, I hate to call it Star Wars, because it's all owned by one entity, where instead of Disney being competitive, like we were talking about when it comes to Netflix and streaming, instead of Disney being competitive with companies like Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, National Geographic, and saying these companies are doing quality shows and movies better than we are, how do we improve? Instead of improving themselves, they fucking buy it. Who's doing better than us? Well, let's buy them out. And there's been a change in the market because of it, and they've improved some of those companies like Marvel, like I wouldn't say Pixar, but they've improved Marvel. The films have gotten a lot better for a lot of people. But there's also a point in time where I look at Marvel and I say, I think they've killed the film industry, because now people are so fucking obsessed with short action and attention span order. They look at a film and they're like, if there's not enough action on it, then I'm not watching it. So now you don't even have, in my opinion, good films anymore. 2019 was a great year, but how many great years are we going to have?
Let me counter you there. because of Netflix forcing innovation, it's actually forcing innovation in the theater industry. AMC's A-list is a dream for independent films. You pay your $25 a month, you get 3 movies a week. My wife and I, you know what it is? I don't even know if you could call it independent. Would you call Uncut Gems an independent film, Star Wars only?
Yeah, and no. Well, actually, you know what? I would call it, more, because what does AMC have? Their artsy and film or something like that? I can't remember the name.
Well, in my opinion, it wasn't that good.
I'm hurting. That was a great film. In my opinion.
I like Kevin Garnett in it. I'm a Kevin Garnett fan. But let me finish my point though. But my point is that you're worried about. But then that's good. There's good. Is there enough of a market for these people to consume this independent content? Because remember, it was all big budget Hollywood. Then it went independent. Now it's going big budget Hollywood again. Isn't it possible the pendulum could just swing back? Especially with greater access.
I wouldn't say so, because you even look at, because I live by plenty of theaters. A lot of those independent films that are small indie style, they don't get pushed in theaters, and there's reasons for that. I'll use Last Jedi as an example. Disney knows pretty smartly, I would say, that the second film in every trilogy doesn't do as well. So what do they do to counter the financial loss that they'll have in China or in just films in general? They tell the films, the theaters, hey, we need 5% more of the cut for every ticket. And so if these films, the theaters are going, well, I can't make a lot of money showing The Lighthouse or showing Parasite or Uncut Gems. I have to keep Star Wars in this Marvel movie in, because there's going to be a lot more people that go in to see that. And it's kind of one of those things that undercuts the indie aspect.
Fair enough. But
it goes back to what we were talking about though with the streaming services. If you notice, because remember, there was a time where actors were like, they don't want to do TV because it's not the same as movies. You don't get the same cred. You don't get the same. Movies is where you want to be. But now with the streaming service, you see a lot of these A-list actors and directors and stuff that were movie people that are doing these movies, like De Niro, and I know it was supposed to be at the theaters too, but they're doing this stuff on streaming services now. And I really think that is the future for indie stuff, is going to be on these streaming services. And that's where people are going to watch it. And they'll consume the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? Are we losing a little nostalgia of going to the theater to see these things? Sure. But it's at the future, I think.
Well, it's the same thing that happened with the arcades in the 80s. They made a ton of money for like 5 years. And then it's like, yo, check out this Nintendo Super Mario, yo. Eat some fucking mushrooms and step on shit. Let's go.
Yeah, and they just had to adapt. All those game designers just started making games for the platforms.
Streaming is the only thing that could really give Disney competition.
Come on, isn't the joke that Netflix will give anybody a contract?
It was before, not anymore so much, because they have to really make.
I bet Netflix gets bought out. I just don't know who would buy them.
I don't think they get bought out. I mean, you know what? You're probably right. They may get bought out by someone like, if I had to make a prediction, probably Amazon. Or Apple. But that's so far down the line, and it's such a burden to buy, not only in terms of taking care of the shareholders, but also the debt that they operate at. They're always at a loss in profit. It just seems more of a burden to bear to bring in that kind of ecosystem that's done great but kind of failed. And you were talking about the AMC $25 a month thing that I do like, but I don't even think that's a result of streaming. I think that's a result of a failing company like MoviePass, because that never happened until MoviePass came out. It was like $10 a month.
Right. Well, they're trying to compete. It's two things, right? They saw MoviePass and they say, hey, that's a great idea. We'll just do that ourselves. Thanks for pioneering it. Go fuck yourself. And number two is, but they're trying to, a lot of people are sitting home. They're trying to be the arcade that survives. And a lot of people have home consoles, so to speak, so I think it is a direct, hey, Netflix they're putting out movie AAA titles, legitimate AAA titles. Yeah.
The big thing with millennials too, is a lot of them, they don't go to the theaters.
Yeah. They're broke as shit.
They watch streaming. Well, that's not what I was going. That's not what I was going for.
No, and I say that as a millennial. I was born in '82, so technically I'm a millennial. They embarrassed the shit out of me. But it is what it is. It's expensive to go out. Every time I take my wife out to the movies, it's I got to get 2 tickets for $15 a piece plus popcorn. I got to get some. About $50.
Like a $30 to $40.
And then God forbid we want to get dinner. I'm out like another bill.
Yeah,
whatever. She likes her fucking Napa wines. That shit's not cheap.
When me and my daughter go, it's 50. It ends up being $50 when me and my daughter go. If I take my girlfriend and her son as well, and there's 4 of us, and my son wants to come along too, and we're talking $125 to go to the fucking movies. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Well, that's the thing is that the film industry, things have changed because now you can watch films on phones, your computer, and everything. And I think that sense of going to the theater has kind of lost its value in a way. I still think there's some films that really benefit. I mean, I saw Uncut Gems at a packed theater. That was nice. I saw one of my most fond movie experiences of the past 2 years was seeing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because there's that violent ending sequence. And I remember everyone in the audience being very shocked, and it was a very packed theater. And I was in tears. I was laughing so hard, and I was like, I love this. And then another one was, God, what's it called? Sorry to Bother You or something like that. And that one was a very bizarre movie, but going and seeing those with crowds kind of gives you an experience that you don't get, of course, watching it at home. And I think because now that we have these big action flick movies like Marvel and the DC universe, if you will, these big films that aren't very creative and just kind of, Saturday matinee movies in a way. It's one of those things where going to see a film has lost its value because there's not really that many good films anymore. There's movies, but like Martin Scorsese would say, they're not really cinema. They're not really films.
Yeah, they're theme park film, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're made on assembly lines. Like they have their visual effects all across the world pieced together. It's not even visually cohesive. All the CG, it's just
adequate.
No, I agree, but
it's adequate. But
they have
I mean, his argument with that isn't that the movie. What he really should have said, and this is the bottom line, it's like what the topic you brought up. It's not that the movies that he hates the movies, which he does, but that's not the problem. It's because, like you're saying, that to push these big movies, these companies like Disney are going to say, I need X amount of theaters, I need X amount of this, so there's no room for the independents to get their movies pushed out. So they're actually should be more money they're angry with the big studios. That's what they need to be angry with, not the actual movie. Because let's say Disney was putting out their own independent films and say, fuck you, Martin Scorsese, and they were real good films, but they said, we're taking all the theaters, we're pushing it just the same way they did with their other movies. Well, Scorsese still wouldn't be able to push his movies through because
Quentin Tarantino had an interview too where he was upset he couldn't get Hateful Eight in. Yeah, during one of the
that one was he wanted it at one of those 8K screenings or something like that,
okay.
Or 80mm films, theaters or something. And what happened was, this was for The Last Jedi specifically. Disney said, we're not going to show our movie at your theater if you don't let us put The Last Jedi in this theater during this time. And the movie theater was like, well, hey, we already made a deal with Quentin that we're going to do the Hateful Eight during this time.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
And that kind of reinforces my standpoint of like this company Disney is controlling the movie industry so much that it's kind of taking away the culture and the art behind films. And it's gotten to a point where it's almost insulting because it's. I mean, you got to think it from their perspective. Which is more risky? And Lucas makes this analogy in the Charlie Rose interview back in 2015. He said, movie industry is like a gambling thing. You get this filmmaker, you say, here's $200 million, go make us $1 billion or something. And if it's an independent film, that's really risky because now you're trusting this creative vision. But if you look at a studio like Disney with the Marvel movies, it's like, well, we've done the research and it's better to bet on Red and these big Marvel movies that are really just the same story over and over again. But the fans are so fucking retarded. They have I'm sorry, I said the R word. So fucking stupid that they can't tell the difference between each film. So we're going to make 20 of the exact same films and they're going to do $1 billion in the box office every time. Just do that every time. And we'll put you in the directing chair and act like you actually did something.
You just print money. No, I mean, I understand that. And like I said, but the technology is driving that. It's definitely more consumer friendly environment. At the end of the day, going out is expensive. And granted, the economy overall has improved, but hasn't improved for everybody. There are a lot of people still struggling. Why not?
Man, I gotta see that. I gotta see that icon again.
I know what the heck. I brought up the comment before I saw the icon. I'm like, what the heck?
That's funny. But anyways, guys, I got to dip. I got to get to work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, thanks.
You don't got no job, Tommy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Streaming is your job.
Yeah. Well,
he doesn't even have a YouTube channel.
I don't even have a YouTube channel.
Well, do you have to go
no.
He stole my joke, motherfucker.
He's a professional guest. He's a professional guest.
Okay.
Yeah, I told him, you know what? You don't need a channel. You could just come in. I'll mine us out. I'll go get.
I just thought about this today.
You could run the show.
You were on my show. I kind of created this fucking monster.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah. Firestarter, you want to start some fires on my channel?
Absolutely.
Tell me when.
Yeah, give me a stream key and I'll.
Well, if you start getting monetized anyway, Fire, I'm going to contact my lawyer because I get 5% because I started your career. So
I'm going to contact my lawyer. He's going to tell your lawyer to start a GoFundMe for your 5%. That's what he's going to do. But you guys have a great evening. I'll catch you.
Good night.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your time. All right. Bye.
Thank you for a time. He's running for governor.
He brings the heat. That's why I like him. He's a madman.
So this is random as fuck, but this also kind of took me by surprise. Eminem just dropped another album like an hour or two ago. Yeah, I checked my Instagram and I'm a Eminem fan, and I was like, oh shit, another album. So I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Did someone else fuck with him? Is that why he's got another album?
Yeah, he's making another album about his mother, and
he gave no indications that he was working on. He just dropped it.
That's kind of what he's been doing. Yeah. Like back in 2018, it was like, hey, here's another album. It's called I forget what it's called, Kamikaze. And it's like, what the fuck? This is Beastie Boys, and then it was an album dissing everybody, and now just another one. I don't know. It's called Music to Be Murdered By. Wow, what a fucking title! Yeah. God damn. In the Senate, I disagree with you, bro. I don't think that Eminem fell off. I think he's been his last bad album was Relapse. That was, oh fuck God, that was awful. But nah, man, Kamikaze was good. Revival was pretty good. People give that one shit. They like the Eminem on acid, and I understand
the people who think Eminem fell off are the people who like this new fucking hip hop shit with this fucking trap.
Oh yeah, modern day rap's awful.
Yeah, whatever. All the auto-tune shit music they do, and the
I think Doomcock's auto-tuned. I do. I said that when I ripped them apart in my Leaky Peacock video.
I honestly I think the truth is you're Doomcock, and this is your alter ego to hide away from the fans. I'm not
no Leaky Peacock. I'm a whole new madman. He's got nothing on me.
Oh, we fucked a lot of people tonight.
Yeah,
man.
We're supposed to be fair and balanced, Max.
I know what that.
We were supposed to talk about Star Wars. I don't even know what the fuck happened to that.
Don't tell Josh. Don't tell Josh.
No, I don't care. This was just a fun stream. That's all.
Yeah, this is probably one of our best ones.
Yeah. I don't. When we do things for fun, it's just for fun. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
If people get angry about that, then I don't know. Start another Indiegogo.
You had to go there again. All right. Are we?
Firewater's like herpes, man. He just spreads. So I mean, I gotta.
Is that why we call him Firestarter too?
Fire in my crotch now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Firestarter.
Are you feeling the burn?
Feeling the burn?
Did you feel the burn? All right. Well, I think we should end the show because I do have to work tomorrow too. Actually, you guys got the days off tomorrow.
I'm winding down my vacation. Yeah, tomorrow's my last day. Well, I had the weekend, but tomorrow's my last day of vacation. So
yeah, if you're not too busy, Star Wars only, I'm sure Daddy would love to have you on. I'm going away for the weekend. And he's hosting the Binge Buddies on Saturday.
I'm not hosting no Binge Buddies, and I can't host anything that I don't know what the fuck. I don't know who's coming on. I don't know what the fuck we're watching.
Star Wars only.
No, wait. How are we gonna do a stream squad show if we haven't watched anything yet?
I'll retweet the polls to say what's winning.
What's in the polls? How about we just pick something?
That's what the polls are for.
Fuck the fans. We'll do it ourselves. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
The polls.
I have someone in my comments talking about Lost in Space, which I think is a very good show.
Yeah. Well, I did the polls for a reason. So you show the results, say this is what we're watching.
Yeah, you did a polls, but half your options sucked.
Well, I mean, for the name of the show, yeah, but everyone,
not that. You're streaming like 2 to 4. I was like, meh.
All right, you guys can send me a list of shows. I don't want to pull the big channel card, but I got a decent size amount of people that would vote to give us an adequate
there you go.
demand
of saying, hey, what do you guys watch? And we can
start on. I trust you guys. If you want to figure it out, I'm out.
I'll pull them up and I'll message you about it. So.
Yeah, I think I had a good idea. I always have good ideas. I'm not good with the follow through. I just announce shit. And then
he's that guy in the office that says he's got the ideas.
Yeah.
And then walks out and says, you guys figure it out.
Right.
Did you just call Mad Max Steve Jobs? What the fuck?
Pretty much.
Right.
I got an idea.
I trust you guys.
Phone. Bye. Figure it out.
Right.
Put my music in a phone. Get on it now.
Right. Works for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll figure it out, Daddy. Maybe maybe Star Wars Only will drop by. I don't know.
You need to start putting up your super chats and pay me, bitch. That's what you need to do.
I'm not doing super chats.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Tomorrow, I'll do a self plug at 3 p.m. Central Time. I'm doing a stream if either of you two want to join. If not, I'm doing what Mad Max was saying of planning it out a little bit ahead. No idea what the fuck it's going to be about. Probably Colin Trevorrow's script and Taika Waititi a little bit, but
yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, I'm still on vacation, so I'm free.
All right, that'll be great.
Yeah, and you're going to review the script. I won't be home until later tomorrow, and then I'm leaving. But I'll definitely catch it on the replay. I'd like to watch it. So check these two guys out. They're legit. And then follow the fire starter on Twitter because that's his nickname for many reasons. Right? Bye.